Hi, everybody, and welcome. It's time to get ready for the Cowboys to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Give them a good whooping. Double our chances at making the postseason. Did you know that? Win this game, you get twice as good a chance. Don't ask the numbers. Just be happy that it would be double, because that's exciting. Things to look for. We'll talk to Joseph Hoyt, who is out at the game, getting ready to party. The roof's open. That'll be fun. So it's your pregame show, and it starts. It's the DLLS Cowboys pregame show, and it starts. Meow. All righty. Hello, friends, and welcome in to the DLLS Cowboys pregame show as we're getting ready to take on the Cincinnati Bengals and give them a nice little whooping. It's going to be lovely. We'll give you all the things that you need to be watching for, the reasons that they can win this game and will win this game, and all sorts of other goodies for your pregame situation. It's good of you to be here. Please make sure that you're hitting the like button, that you're subscribed to the channel. If you're watching on my channel, make sure you're following DLLS Sports as well. And my name is Jeff. And next to me is our X's and O's queen, our analyst, the great Aisha Morrison. You ready for Dub City?
I'm trying to figure things out right now because I'm a little taken aback by the positivity that is coming out of your body right now.
Well, I had other dreams, but those dreams are gone now, so I'm just not gonna worry about them. We're just gonna have a time and go ahead and win as many as you can. See what happens.
We love an aware king.
Yeah, my dreams are shattered, and so now we're just onward and upward. We're just gonna pull for the home team. See how many we can win.
If they win, if they will be like 13.
What would be 13?
They would be picking 13, even if they if they won tonight and they lost for the rest of the time.
If they win tonight, they go to 13th from 12. If they lose tonight, they go to 11. But, that's later on stuff.
That's later on.
That's later on stuff.
All right.
That's later on stuff.
Just asking.
No, but they do. If they win, they double their odds to make the playoffs.
And that is a...
What do you think the percent is right now? And what do you think the percent is if they win?
Please,
I've told you it doubles. What do you think those numbers are?
I believe it's still probably under single digits, even if they do win.
So right now they have a 2% chance, but if they win, they have a 4% chance. So if we're chasing dreams, we gotta get after it.
I'm chasing evaluations.
We gotta get after it. Yeah, but what are you gonna do? We're gonna go get it. We're gonna do great. We're gonna do the best.
Look at this Christmas tree.
Isn't it gorgeous?
This is a Christmas tree.
I love Christmas trees. Candace didn't believe me when I said that earlier because I guess I just deliver everything and it all sounds sarcastic. I love trees and lights and decorations.
I do too. Oh, so you're going to be... I know somebody that can do that.
I don't actually do it at my house. Like I do the tree. I'm too lazy. I did order a 7-foot tall Santa riding a T-Rex inflatable that'll be out front, but I haven't done like the lights. But the tree inside makes me happy. Why? So I sit on the couch and I just look at it.
Why is Santa riding a dinosaur?
It was the right deal on Amazon. I have packages arrive every day. I am what you would call an impulse buyer. Okay. My ADHD extends to clicking on things on the internet. Then I go, ooh, I'll take it.
Okay.
Yeah. That's just
we have our things. But yes, I am excited about this game actually, Jeff, especially since we got some news that Trevon Diggs is going to suit up today. So it's a miracle.
Christmas miracle, if you will.
Number 7, number 26, and number 2.
I was going to say, I get there. Yeah. I remember Jordan. I'm trying to remember. Wasn't Jordan used to be 20? Was he 27 or 26?
26.
Yeah.
They gave it to
they throw me
Ron.
off. Yeah.
So now we actually get to see the secondary together and this defensive line. Like the defense that we expected to roll out at the start of the year without all the zillion injuries and without DeMarcus Lawrence is the defense that we're maybe going to get to see tonight.
This will be the Did you say it would be the first? It'll be the first game of the season that those three have played together?
Yes.
Yeah.
The first time we've seen Diggs and DeRon Bland play together.
Yeah. And so definitely and Lewis. So, yeah. And that's one of the, like, I'm just going to let go of all the tanking stuff for now because we're just going to do a Cowboys pregame show. Yes, and, like, I think that is probably my biggest reason for optimism that you can win this game because you are playing against a team that their identity is basically Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, the end.
It's that thing.
It's a PTB2. They don't have time for 2. It's a PTB1. Joe Burrow, if you're not familiar, PTB2 is my offensive philosophy. You take the snap, you pat that bitch twice. That was 3. You pat that bitch twice. And you throw it as far as you can. It's a good offense. Theirs is probably more of a 1 because they don't block so good. And it's wild. Like, if you just had Joe Burrow's numbers in front of you, you'd be like, oh, an MVP candidate. I bet they're doing great. And they suck. Because like, they are 4-8 with a guy who's played quarterback as good as anyone on the planet. Let that be a lesson to you. The quarterback can only do so much.
This is 100%
He is doing everything he can. And now he is going to play against a team that has an elite pass rusher going up against, well, he won't unless they switch. Micah's mostly playing on the left. So not where they're missing their left tackle, Orlando Brown. Or is he the right tackle? No, he's the left tackle. So you're not going at, or is he the right tackle?
It's the right tackle.
Yeah. So you're getting the backup right tackle against one of the best pass rushers in the world. And the rest of your line isn't that good either. And the Cowboys now have their full secondary at their disposal. So, like, this could honestly be the first time in over a month that the Bengals offense is in trouble.
Right. And
it's all they got.
And then, that you add DeMarvion Overshown to the well, and you talk about the left guard position, Cody Ford. He typically is their left guard. They will kick him outside to left. He has played there over the last 3 weeks in different spots. I think it's scary. He looks like a guy that plays inside that they just kicked out the tackle. He is serviceable, but I'm still nervous about it. So I do agree that the Cowboys should have some opportunities across the defensive line. We got Joe.
Orlando Brown's the left tackle because Marius Mims is the right tackle.
Yeah, Marius Mims
is the right tackle. And he is in deep doo-doo because he's too damn big to be trying to block Micah Parsons. I'm nervous. He's a rookie, and I think he's going to be a really good player. I think tonight he's in deep doo-doo, and the Bengals offense might have some struggles. All right, let's check in with Joe Hoyt, who is out at AT&T Stadium to get us ready for Cowboys and Bengals. What are the things that we need to know from the stadium? The roof is open and nothing fell, so that's good. And in and out and all the things.
Yeah, nothing fell from the sky. That's good news. But, some interesting inactives today. Jalen Brooks is going to be inactive, but Ryan Flournoy and Jonathan Mingo are going to be up. So there's kind of a decision there. Also inactive is Damone Clark. I feel like this has kind of been building for a little bit of a while here. He's not going to be active tonight. Who will be active, though, is Trevon Diggs. I watched him in pregame. He looks fantastic, moving around, really explosive. They're going to need him against T. Higgins and Jamar Chase in that Bengals offense tonight. So obviously, with him being back, you finally get that Jordan Lewis, DeRon Bland, and Trevon Diggs trio that everyone's been waiting to see, including them.
So the receivers that you mentioned that are active, I just don't know what to do with Jonathan Mingo. So far, it looks like Jerry Jones just burned another 4th-round pick for fun at the deadline to get the fan base involved. But has the coaching staff or anybody in the organization had much to say about him over the last 2 or 3 weeks in terms of things they like, or if we should expect to see more as we're going along? Because so far it's just like, we ain't getting a lot.
No, not a lot of targets either, and not a lot of mentions, frankly, in press conferences or even just kind of murmurs around the locker room. He's kind of just been doing about his business, kind of trying to learn the offense a little bit. He's obviously been active pretty much every game day since after the first game they acquired him. But not a lot of targets. So interesting to see how they went with the receivers kind of tonight. I'd expect Flournoy to get a little bit more run than Jonathan Mingo.
Yeah, Jeff, you just mentioned that you felt like you just burned a player, like you just burned
set it on fire.
Like I will say he seems like a guy we're not gonna get no information on until we see him with the Dak Prescott, which is forever from now. So it does feel kind of like a wasted pick. But anyway, as far as Joe, how does the scenery look? I'm hearing that there's quite a few Bengals fans in the vicinity. How is that?
Yeah, Bengals fans traveled. They definitely came out tonight. They some good numbers out there. Speaking of scenery, though, I think one of the things that we're just kind of talking about in the air tonight here is what Troy Aikman just said on 105.3 The Fan. Started to segue a little bit off of that. But him saying that he expects Mike McCarthy to be back in 2025 at this point. It's kind of, goes along with what Dak Prescott said previously. So that was kind of some interesting news that came from tonight was what Troy Aikman said to 105.3 The Fan. Something to talk about and something to monitor.
I mean, and the fact that now you are talking about, not that none of these people get to make a decision for Jerry Jones, right? But at the same time, the fact that you now basically have on record Dak Prescott's campaigning for his coach, Micah Parsons is campaigning for his coach, Troy Aikman, who has a relationship with this franchise, is sort of putting in the call that Mike will be back. That's real smoke to the fire, right? We can't just say that no, the die is cast. We can't say that anymore, can we?
No, and I've been kind of hinting on our show for a little while now that you're seeing breadcrumbs. And again, breadcrumbs don't necessarily mean that there's going to be a sandwich at the end of it. It doesn't necessarily mean that Mike McCarthy will be back, right? But at the end of it, unless Clarence is chewing on that sandwich. Sorry, that was a little bit of a dig there. I apologize. But it does. I thought it's been interesting. There's been just a little bit of murmurs, kind of like saying, like putting the possibility out there. Now we're getting a little bit more smoke. To your point, Jeff. If they win tonight and they go on a little bit of a run here, I feel like that smoke's only going to pick up.
Would you like to put in a prediction for tonight? Because I don't think it's impossible that the thing you predicted last week that came true could happen again. Are you willing to go there?
Yes, we trust you.
Or do you need me to go there?
I'm willing to go there. And this is my big theory about this entire game, as long as they don't deviate from it. If they stick with it, if they don't panic when the Bengals go out and Joe Burrow hits Jamar Chase on like a 60-yard touchdown in that first drive, if they don't panic and start throwing the ball over the place, I think they will. Rico Dowdle will get another 100-yard game. So I'll qualify with saying if he gets 20 rushes, he'll get 100 yards.
We love it. We love it. All right, Joe, enjoy the game, and we will see you for the postgame, or we'll see Clarence for the postgame, or we'll see you later. Something will happen.
Take care, guys.
All right, we're kicking ass and taking names. We're off and running. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you have any questions going into this game, feel free to leave them in the chat. If you have a score prediction, feel free to put that in the chat. If you get it exactly right, let me tell you, I don't have a prize or anything, but I will be super proud of you. It is now time for our Game Time Look Around the League, which is, of course, brought to you by Game Time, which is an app that you should download and have on your phone. Use the promo code DLLS and get $20 off your first purchase if you're looking for tickets to anything. It's your Game Time Look Around the League. Lions beat the Packers on Thursday 34-31, and they did that because Dan Campbell has stones the size of boulders. Big. Call them what? Bolas? Is that Spanish?
He got big bolas.
Dan Campbell got stones.
That's so crazy, but some people think he's just a complete Looney Tune too, though.
That's why his GQ rating is like 96%. I think anybody who doesn't like Dan Campbell is just tired of everyone liking Dan Campbell. It's what happened to Taylor Swift. Some people don't like Taylor Swift, and it's because everybody likes Taylor Swift. When you get too popular, you will find people who will dislike you because of how many people like you. I think Dan Campbell's on the doorstep to that.
Okay.
Eagles barely beat the Panthers yesterday because a Panther man couldn't catch a football on the last drive of the game. And in the postgame, A.J. Brown got a little spicy. Star receiver for the Eagles fired about 500 different shots at Jalen Hurts. They're winning. They're playing really good football with the exception of the quarterback. And so, yeah, things are spicy in Philly, which is fun as a Cowboy fan. 49ers got drama, too. They beat the Bears 38-13. They won by 25 points, and Deebo Samuel is on Twitter taking shots at Brock Purdy. Quote, not struggling at all, just not getting the ball.
Just not getting the ball, man.
Is what he tweeted. They're 6-7 trying to run down a playoff spot just like the Cowboys, and Deebo Samuel's taking shots at his quarterback. We love that. Josh Allen and the Bills fell 44-42 to the Rams, despite Josh Allen running for 3 touchdowns and throwing for 3 touchdowns. Yeesh. And Kansas City's a weird football team.
I don't know what to say about them anymore.
Kansas City's the weirdest football team.
Makes me uncomfortable.
Beat the Chargers last night with a 31-yard walk-off field goal that was a doink. Doinks almost never go in. They doinked it in, which is very Chiefs this season. They're 12-1 with the 3rd best run defense, the 23rd best pass defense, the 8th best pass offense, and the 10th best running offense. That sounds like the 8th best team in football, but it's 12-1. Their point differential is 56 this year. The Broncos and Chargers in their own division have better differentials than that. The Bills' differential is 3 times better than that, and yet the Chiefs are 12-1 because they fiddle fart no matter who they're playing. It looks like a perfect matchup. They're just as good as the Bills, but also just as good as the Panthers. And then they win at the last second. There's no way that team can win the Super Bowl, except they have won the last 2, and Pat's there and Andy Reid's there, so they might.
Dog.
But that is not a 12-1 team.
Bro, when I see, they are so...
That is an 8-5 team.
They're so confusing. I watched it, and I was just like, there's no way this is happening. And they've had situations like that all season.
Every week.
Somebody has put a root on these people, but a good kind.
I need to check. Oh, so this isn't funny because CTE is not funny, but when you said the good kind, it made me think of something I saw on the internet about Jameis Winston.
No.
That he has like the fun CTE.
No, y'all, that's not funny. No. I can't laugh.
No,
I'm not laughing.
It's not funny.
Very serious.
It is. We don't like head injuries. I've had lots of concussions. It's probably why I have problems.
He's just full of joy.
Look at this. I'm just going to do this just real quick. Chiefs last 7 games. 1-score game, won by 7 against the Raiders. Beat Tampa Bay by 6 in overtime. Beat the Broncos by 2, 16-14. Lost to the Bills. Beat the Panthers by 3. Beat the Raiders by 2. Beat the Chargers by 2. You're a weird football team, Kansas City. You're a weird football team.
They're scary.
That's all. You're a weird football team. That's your look around the league, brought to you by our friends at Game Time.
So good.
Aisha, 2 Eye in the Sky, matchups to watch for this evening's game, Cowboys and Bengies.
Yeah, man, we kind of talked about it a little bit. I think Dallas is going to be able to find some favorable matchups across Cincinnati's offensive line. Now, you did mention that he doesn't have a lot of time. You know what's so weird about him?
He still takes a lot of time.
He don't care. He don't care.
He's daring you to sack him.
He is daring you to sack him. Not only that, one thing that he also does well, the footwork in the pocket, Jeff, is just nasty.
Oh, he's good.
Mean, the way he steps up, he slides, he's seeing things, if things open up for him, he also can escape. I'm looking for how if Dallas is able to obviously get pressure, they got to finish. I also think that, we've been seeing Zimmer kind of disguise some of his fronts. I think he's going to do that. Mike Zimmer going up against this offensive line that Cincinnati has is an interesting matchup for me. On the other end of things, Doug, obviously it has to be Trevon Diggs and Jamar Chase. I mean, that's like a huge percentage of their offensive production is through him and his ability to catch the ball deep downfield. This is an offense that's looking for explosive plays. So I'm looking for Dallas to see if they can minimize that at all. But Trevon Diggs has been out with an injury. He is coming back from ACL. I want to see if he still got it. Because obviously he wanted to play this game.
I want to see how they approach it.
Well, yeah, okay. What's
right?
That? Expand.
Expound. You have all of your corners. So you could say to yourself, I believe in our guys on the back end. And so we're not going to let you just run it down our throat. Because they don't mind giving it to Chase Brown. He's a good player. They don't run it efficiently.
Yes.
But if you're the Cowboys and you're like, look, I really like what I have on the back end better than what I have on the front end, I can kind of get extra guys in the box, stop your passing game. I think I can rush the passer, and I believe in my secondary. But that sounds so dangerous. Because the thing, it's not just Jamar. T. Higgins, when he is healthy this year, he has a larger target share, a deeper depth of target. He's their other number one. And technically, he would be number one based on who they target when they're both out there. Jamar is just the one that is hell on wheels once he has the ball and is better down the field. He's a monster. And so I'll be interested in how the Cowboys approach it. You've got to just try to take away the passing game and dare them to run it down your throat.
Yeah, that's what I think that's the approach you take is you don't let that guy beat you, which you even mentioned it the other day. It was but he still beats people.
Right. That's the thing about the best receivers in football and why I don't want to hear it a lot of times when people are like, well, the coverage dictates that the Cowboys go away from. And look, CeeDee has a ton of catches this year. And since the bye, once again, he gets the ball a ton no matter what. So they know this. But the idea that any number one receiver, people are like, well, the coverage is saying not to get him the ball. And I'm like, coverage is telling every number one wide receiver you can't have the ball. And they all go ball.
Right.
So it's going to happen. Yep. What are you going to do about it?
Another thing I'm going to keep an eye out on is Cincinnati. They've been running a little bit more too high as of late, but they will get in that single high. And Cooper Rush, I'm begging you to look at it and say, can anybody beat Turpin here? Like, come on. Like, if you're gonna be again, like, play within yourself. Like, look. Let me calm my head down.
Only when it's single high and when Turpin's in the slot, throw a slant.
Yes, please. It's the only time I don't want to see it, or a seam route. However you decide to do it, that's the only time I want to see it. But don't. I just think if he gets that look, take the shot, because there's safeties. Besides, they've had injuries this year. Jesse Bates is out. They got some young guys out there. I think Dallas can take advantage in spots. Some spots. Playing down the field. You get Ferg back. You got Ferg back. That's huge.
You get Ferg back. That falls into my things to watch tonight.
Okay, come on.
Okay, so things to watch tonight. The Simpsons.
That's going to be
good. You said this Simpsons thing is crazy. So I don't even know what it is, and obviously we can't watch TV yet. Like, is the whole game going to be like animated little people, or is it the normal game and they're going to put in, I don't know. But
I hope it's a mix.
I'll report back because I don't know. I want to see with Jake Ferguson back, because I know Jake Ferguson. If he's healthy, I know Jake Ferguson. That is a good starting NFL tight end. And so all of the other things that I'm watching tonight and the rest of the season is basically what else? Like, okay, Schoonmaker had to fill in a bunch of targets and a bunch of catches. Mm-hmm. All right, whatever. I got my guy back. Are you still going to be allowed to play football? And how does that look? Is there any chance that with a few more games this season, I could get to the end of it and not think, boy, the Cowboys desperately need another tight end? Because that would be great.
That would be amazing.
That would be great. Same thing goes for Mozzie Smith. Started from the bottom.
Now we're here.
About 3 weeks ago, he was still the worst Pro Football Focus rated defensive tackle in the entire league. He has passed 3 people.
Look at him.
He's now 120 out of 123. Can we get to the end of the season and that work its way up to...
When you watch him, though, he's
giving
playing
some good
better.
snaps.
Yeah, he's playing better, and it's also freeing up, guess who? Also Digizua, who is coming along with pressure rate and sack rate right now. So I'm sitting here like, okay, well, I'm taking a look at that as well, Jeff. Now, I will say there's another matchup that we talked about and Jesse talked about this week. It's Gesicki. And who do you feel comfortable manning Gesicki? Because
so they play 3 wide receivers a lot with the
they
Iosovas
go
guy,
11 a lot,
which means that your 3 corners are occupied, which means that job is falling to Overshown / Kendricks / Wilson / Hooker. And you probably want Hooker as a deep guy more often than not. So that answer is linebackers and Donovan Wilson, which I don't love.
That's what I was.
Okay,
that's what I was getting at, Brody. No, I mean, we haven't really got to see Overshown in coverage. Do you think he can still do it? You think he could be a nickel guy?
Physically, obviously, yes. Right? Like, can he stop, start, change direction? Yeah.
Do you not want to take him away from the close to the line of scrimmage where he's thriving right now?
No, not much. But I think if he could be a guy that shows that he also has that in his bag, that he can be a cover guy, because you don't get to play forward all the time at linebacker in 2024 NFL, right? There's more to the job.
Yo, we got some breaking news, Brody.
We got some breaking news? What happened?
Looks like Chumi Doga is from our guy, Joe
I'm tired of this.
FYI, looks like Chumi Doga is starting at left tackle, not Tyler Guyton.
I'm tired. I'm tired of this. I can't do this. Here's my next thing, Aisha. Tyler Guyton was my thing to watch tonight. You know why?
Please.
Because they made a mistake last year. The mistake was they drafted a guy in the first round. And then regardless of how he played throughout the season, they went, well, we'll go into next year and he'll be the starter because he was our first round pick a year ago. That's dumb. You can't do that. Mozzie Smith is showing you some things. If it continues to trend up the rest of the season, then you'll be more comfortable going into next year saying he's part of my nose tackle rotation, maybe my starter, depending on what we see the next month, right? Tyler Guyton needs this. If you are active, it means you can play. if this is the coaching staff saying he doesn't give us the best chance to win, fine. I get it. And I just told you I'm not going to talk about tanking or draft yet, but I am going to talk about my football team and where we're headed. This year, the answer is nowhere. Put the first rounder on the field so that I can figure out over the course of the next month and he can get as many reps as humanly possible, because the worst thing they could do is Mozzie 2.0, which is go through a season where your first round pick looks like he can't play in the NFL. And I know at times he has. I'm not writing off his career. Good. But going through with a guy that looks like there's a multitude of things between penalties. Do you know the difference between hurt and injured? Are you good enough to play that spot? Like, there's a lot of different things that your butt needs to be on the field playing as many snaps as possible. And he's active. So this one's probably not in his hands. This is probably the coach's. So I'm yelling at Mike. Put the dude out there, because you need to know, and maybe that's the problem. He doesn't know if he's going to be back. So what does he care? He wants to win the football game. And if he thinks Chuma gives him a better chance. So I get it. I need to know.
What if they know?
Do you have a chance at being my left tackle next year? Or are we just going to go into an offseason after you had a really bad season? We said Chuma's better than you and you're not going to play. But next year, we're not going to do anything about left tackle. We're just going to assume you can do it then, because that is crazy talk.
What if they know?
They can't play? I mean, can you definitively know that a developmental offensive tackle can't play without letting him play more and more and more? If you're saying we're writing him off already and he won't be it next year, that's one thing. But I worry they'll do the opposite. They're like, no, he couldn't play, but it's been a whole offseason. He was a first-round pick. He'll be great.
I wonder, my thing is, I wonder what, like, if he's not going out and he's active, if it's not the injury, like, are they trying to preserve, like, his confidence? What are they doing right now? Because I will say, we've talked about it, and we talked about it before with Jesse, was like, yo, is he learning? Like we were talking about with Mozzie, we're seeing him at least take steps. Like, and I'm not going to say it's consistent, but with Guyton, it's like, it feels like there are games where he is just getting killed out there. And it's like, are we building bad habits? Is he just stewing in the bad habits? Are you concerned about that? How does he get out of that?
I mean, I'm concerned about it, but I think your best chance is go play football.
Right.
Go play lots of football, and we'll hear what the hard part about this is, we will not know the real answer.
Yeah.
From the coaching staff or the front office. What they'll say is he was healthy enough to suit up, and so we had him suit up in case of emergency.
Bye.
But he wasn't real healthy, and that's why he didn't start. Like, they'll protect him in that way. And we won't know for sure if that's a real answer or not. And to me, it sounds like a fake answer. And the answer is that he is being benched for not a journeyman. Like, a journeyman to me is a guy who actually plays in the NFL. For a journeyman backup is who he's being benched for.
That's injured often as well.
And let him play.
How do you feel about Chuma Edoga being out there? I'm a little scared with Trey Hendrickson. Even though he doesn't play on that side. Like
Trey Hendrickson will eat him if he lines up over there.
He probably won't, though.
Wait. Yeah, that's right. Mike is Trey on their team is over there.
Side?
Right?
Or
No.
Steele's?
He's a Steele. He's on Steele's side.
That stresses me out too.
I did that this week. He lines up 90% of the time. I think it was
on the right side.
Yeah. So yeah, he's gonna eat whoever he's across from. You're just gonna have to help Chuma, but you're gonna have to help Guyton.
No.
I think Chuma's probably better today than Guyton. So if you're McCarthy, I get it. I just want to know if I need to pick a first-round left tackle next year, because I know they're not going to. So let the kid go play.
And this tackle class is not that beautiful.
We'll find a guy.
Wow.
Strap in, everybody. Enjoy The Simpsons or whichever version you watch, and be right back here for post-game. This was your DLLS Cowboys pregame show. Enjoy the game. And remember, you have no idea what anybody's going through, so be cool to everyone. We love you. Be easy. Or else not a threat.
We all silly like the mayor.